What's up, CaliUnity? So today we're going to be talking about how to get upside down on the rings for the first time. So if you're here, this is probably a movement that's quite intimidating. Maybe you're just starting out on your Cali journey. Maybe you've been doing your Cali journey for a while, but you just can't crack this movement. That's absolutely fine. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through the prerequisites, everything that you're going to need in order to get your first basically upside down position on the rings. There are two prerequisites that you're going to need. You're going to need to be able to have a good hanging strength base, because obviously if you can't hang from the bar, then you'll definitely not be able to go upside down because you'll just fall off, which is not good for anyone. And also optimal pulling strength. When you go for the rotation and you go upside down on the rings, you need to have adequate pulling strength to keep you there in the first place. So those are kind of like the two prerequisites that I would say you're going to need in order to start on this step. And as always with all these movements and all these progressions, this is a skill. We're going to be working on this as a skill, but you should always make sure that you're getting stronger and adding in supplementary exercises on the side as well. So there are two ways to actually get upside down on the rings. Number one is when you basically walk into the rings with your arms straight in a compressed position in your stomach and in your legs. And because you compress so much, you can then lift off into that position. You can also jump at that stage and jump into that position, and it's because you've got your center of mass, which is your belly button, over the base of support, which is the rings in this sense, which gets you going upside down. When you do actually go upside down, you find that it's not actually that bad, right? You're upside down, you're in that position, but it is getting there in the first place. The second way to get upside down is from the top of a pull-up position. So we're in this position here, and essentially we jump back, and as you jump, you straighten out your arms, and then you'll find yourself eventually in that upside down position. Now, this skill is super, super important because it's basically the foundation for everything you do with a skin the cat, with back levers, with front levers, anything you do going upside down on the rings. So do make sure that you've absolutely mastered this skill and make sure that you have this nailed in order to then move on to the next one. So just some quick tips for relaxing when you are upside down. Relax, that's the first thing, right? So make sure that you are breathing out when you're up there. Maybe you're finding the point on a wall or something that you can focus on, and you're just relaxing the body. As you get into that position, you do need to find that compression, but when you are upside down, make sure you do relax. You can get just as much strength from relaxing muscles that don't need to be tensed as much as actually tensing the muscles that do need to be tensed. Second thing, stack your joints. I see it all the time when people go upside down and then the hips are actually not in that center line. And what happens is, because the hips aren't stacked, you're not aligning. Imagine if I was to balance a stick in my hand, right? If it's not balanced like this, it's so much harder. It's so much easier to control when it's balanced. But if it's over here, there's no chance that I'm going to be able to hold it because I have to counteract it. So make sure your joints are stacked. And then the third thing is focus on your hips. I see lots of people trying to throw their shoulders back and throw their feet over. The main thing you need to be doing is throwing your hips back and over, because that is the center of mass, your belly button, and that's actually going to make sure that you actually get around there. So when you do the plan for getting upside down is a 3-step process. Number one, walk into it, use the arms straight behind your back, and then you're gonna walk into that position, okay? Compressing, think of like a compression. That's how much tension you wanna get in this. Your hips come back, your belly button goes to your knees, your shoulders go to your toes, you straighten your legs, you compress in, you round your shoulders, and if you've got the rings in the right position, you'll be able to actually lift off in that position, okay? That's step number one. Hopefully, once you've unlocked that, you can go to step number two, which is when actually you practice being inverted, going in that back position, right? So we're here, bent arms, we jump up and go upside down, and then we can see if we can get that. However, the third thing from there is if you have mastered your pulling strength and you've got a nice pull up, can you do it without jumping? Maybe you can be here, and because you get that rotation from the arms and you bring the hips up and over, you'll find that you actually come back upside down. So let's write this down in a 3-step process. Number 1 is straight leg position, okay? So that kind of that compressed position. Number 2 is jump upside down, okay? So we're doing the pull up, we're leaning over and we're going up in that upside down position. And then number 3 is no jumping. Okay, let's see if we can get it by just rotating the right joints, using the right muscles, and seeing if we get in the upside down position. Just some quick notes on this movement as well. When you exit in this position, try and do it slowly. You want to see if you can activate the lats, the biceps, and see if you can almost slow down that movement. The negative is just as important as going into the movement because it teaches you what muscles that you need to use to slowly come down in that. So that can actually be really useful. Don't waste that position. So overall, that is how to get upside down on the rings. That's the first progression. Just to quickly summarize it all, again, we have the 3 steps. We've got straight leg, we jump, again, in this position, going upside down, and then we do it no jumping. Make sure to relax, make sure to stack your joints. Another drill that I really like is throwing my shoulders back, because when I throw my shoulders back, my hips come up. If you are doing this for the first time as well, I would recommend having a coach, a friend, or a spotter there to kind of help bring your hips round and throw them back. That can be really, really useful. And again, it's a foundational movement because now, if you unlock this, we can then move on to doing a skin the cat progression and working on back levers and front levers. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you did enjoy this, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Plenty more videos coming. If you want to see more tutorials, more progression videos just like this, check out the rest of the CaliUnity YouTube. And if you really, really liked it, make sure to hit it a like. And if you know anyone else who's trying to get upside down the rings for the first time, make sure to share it with them so we can share the love and make health education accessible to everyone. Have a good one, guys, and best of luck with you going upside down for the first time.